Good evening and welcome to Paranormal Puff Peeps with Mandy West, the haunted historian. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Very
Good.
busy. Yeah, I'm doing great. What with investigating, then sort of doing a panto, so I've got to sort that out, and then yeah, I've just got to get ready for Christmas sometime as well.
Oh, I know. Christmas is looming, isn't it? And they're even playing the Christmas songs already, which I don't know how I feel about, if I'm honest. But
It's
yeah,
fine. It's after my birthday. I sort of object to anything Christmassy before my birthday.
I
So
agree. We
after
must.
my birthday, that's fine. So my birthday is 12th of November. So once that's gone, it's okay with me.
You haven't long celebrated it then. It was at the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's the 12th, so a few days ago.
Yeah.
So so on the Tuesday I had a meal with a sister. On
Mm.
the Friday I was out at my private event. And then I'm going out for a meal next week with my mate. She's gone away for her birthday.
Oh, okay. Good, good, good.
So yeah,
Okay.
may as well have more than one birthday celebration.
Do it. If it's good enough for the Queen or the King, it's good enough for you.
Exactly, because you can't mix your para friends and your theatre friends. So it doesn't kind of work.
No, no. Well, no. I suppose it wouldn't really, but I mean, one wouldn't know what the other's talking about. So it's a good excuse to celebrate twice, as far as
Well,
I'm
that's
concerned.
right. Yeah. So, you just have different parties with different people. Then you're
Hmm.
not like wondering, like, oh, well, that person, and like, no, you just have separate parties. It's all good, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Otherwise, you're rushing around introducing people and hoping that they'll talk. Whereas now, like if you separate it, you can have double the fun and know that everyone knows each other and that they're okay.
Yeah, that's
So,
right. And
hmm
like with the paranormal evenings, I book a location, and people just come along, and people get to know each other.
yeah,
And
exactly.
like I'm now at the stage like people come along and I don't realise that people don't know each other because I know people quite a lot now, and I've worked with so many people, and
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
just love it. It's great just getting around and meeting people.
I think that's the thing with the paranormal. It's a really good way to meet people and make friends because, in my experience, I've been lucky in that, everyone's been friendly and approachable. And, you start at one in sort of event or invest like I did at Cannock and you come
Oh,
away with a gang of
Cannock.
mates. It's brilliant.
Wow, what do you think of Cannock then?
Love it. Absolutely
Yeah.
love the place. It's just got so much to it, so many layers, and the history and the mythology. It's
Wow.
got something for everyone as far as I'm concerned.
I'm yet to go. I haven't been yet. Yeah, there's a
You're
campsite near
joking.
there. No, it's
I
an hour away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I go with like if I'm going to go, I'll drive to Wednesbury to go with Neil or
Yeah,
like with the Hexel Wednesbury Paranormal.
that's
So
it. They're brilliant, aren't they?
yeah, I mean, I can drive myself to Wednesbury, but any further, I just think I'd have a meltdown if I'm honest, because I'm not a fan of driving. So,
I
you know,
didn't
we,
used to be.
hmm?
I used to hate driving, but I guess for me it's like not a choice in a way. I kind of get
No,
used to it.
I'm better than I used to be,
Yeah.
but it's that relying on the sat nav because it just seems to have something against me, and it will tell me it's taking me one place and take me somewhere completely different. So,
Oh,
yeah,
I just swear at it and go my own way half the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Um,
Once that's the thing. Once you can remember
yeah,
the way, you're laughing. But
yeah. Well, I use road signs as well. So
yeah,
you sat nav might say something. It's like, really, the road sign's saying that. And that's
hmm
how I used to drive.
yeah,
You know?
and maps. I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even know where to begin reading a map.
Oh, I
So,
can. I've got one in the car for when I went
yeah,
down to Rendlesham. I took a
hmm
map just to try and find places to go,
yeah,
specifically churches,
yeah.
because I found out
Graveyards,
that like
churches, yeah.
shed loads, shed loads of churches there, shed loads of sort of bases there.
Hmm.
You sort of got the old air- the aircraft sort of museums there, and so yeah.
So, Rendlesham, you say, was that for the UFO site?
Yeah, that was the UFO site. So I stayed right in the middle of the forest. There's a campsite there. Stayed on my own. So yeah, it's all good.
Did you have the
It,
dog with you?
oh yeah, I had him with me. Yeah, It was scared one night though, and it kind of scared me a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was going to
And
say, I mean, they're a great indicator of anything
yeah,
that's loitering and lurking. So, did you pick up on anything at all?
not exactly, no, because but then
Oh,
I did go one night. I was sort of set out at dusk, and then it sort of turned that it was just too far to walk, and it would have been dark
hmm
when I returned. But as the night closed in, it just did get a bit creepy in the forest. It's
yeah,
certainly got a lot of energy.
hmm
It really has. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. I'd like to go there with people
yeah,
because then you can go in the forest on your own.
yeah.
And it
Yes, there's a
it's
safety aspect,
also
isn't there?
yeah, there is a safety aspect. There's a great big car park right near the campsite, and
Mm.
you don't really want to be lurking around there because you don't kind of know what goes off in there.
Flash your lights twice. That's all
Well,
I'm going to say.
this is what I think.
Yeah,
It's that sort of location, I guess. So yeah, and
yeah.
yeah,
So you
but
hear?
I guess I've no idea. I haven't actually googled it. Yeah,
I wouldn't. Ignorance is
no,
better and something like
no,
that.
you don't want to know, do you? But yeah.
No.
So you are a medium, aren't you? We pick things up mediumistically,
I used to be very sensitive when I was younger, and then
right?
I kind of blocked it out, if I'm honest. You sort of, I suppose adult life kicks in and you get a job and you've got a family and a mortgage. So you just sort of tend to focus on what's there in front of you. So I shut it down almost or just ignored it. But
Hmm.
now I'm starting to pick it back up again. Um, and it's been hard work, but it's starting to come back to me. Little things that will surprise me. Hello, Patricia. Um, so yeah, in a less obvious way for me, I'm more. How can I put it? I tend to get things through in dreams, or I'll get like a sense of foreboding or sort of doom and things, and then just names and things that will come into my head that seem to make a lot of sense later on. So yeah.
Yeah, because it is you. Well, it's funny. Like Patricia's on. It's basically I told my story to Patricia on a podcast, and she
hmm
sort of inferred about my past life. That was actually hung at National
Oh,
Justice Museum in a
yeah,
past life. And then you were brilliant, and I gave you some information I got from my past life, a
yeah,
name and some rough dates, things like that. And you sort
hmm
of got the information. And then one day you randomly contacted me and said, "Oh, I feel like your death is something to do with the caves." And then all of a sudden it clicked for me. I replied, "WTF?" I think it was exactly that. And
yeah,
said, "Yeah, I was thrown down the oubliette in a past life."
mm,
And actually, as time goes on, that does seem to be the story because
yeah,
there weren't any sort of people hung about that time. So it does make sense.
hmm yeah,
I've even sat there at National Justice Museum and had a stone thrown at me when I've sat virtually above it. So
yeah.
it's interesting, isn't it? It
I
really
think
is.
that's the thing because I mean I don't tend to think of it as being sensitive or mediumship, but when I do research on sort of sites, and you're faced with an awful lot of newspaper articles from
Oh yeah.
from the past and details, you do have to try and hone in on the ones that just pull you in basically,
That's
because
right.
otherwise you'd be reaming off hundreds if not thousands of articles. So you have to kind of go for the ones that pull you in. And I mean I had something similar at a site in Telford. It was a residential property, and where it was had been, well, where the buildings are now was near to a mining site.
Oh, wow.
And as you can imagine, there was a lot of sort of unnatural premature deaths and the like. So you're faced with tons of horrible deaths of, where you
Mm.
can't imagine what the families and, the souls themselves went through. But you have to try and pick the ones that call out to you. Um, and fortunately, I was able to do that and help guide the residents on what was there, why it was there, and what it was doing. And then eventually because they could communicate with him directly with a name and they got a situation, they were able to actually move the spirit on, which I think is marvelous.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been out to a few houses. Well, I did. It was really weird. I got a spate of 3 within 1 week,
Mhm.
and I think one person was more scared because the neighbours sort of gave that house a reputation. They sort of said, "Oh,
Okay.
that's the witch's house,"
Yeah.
and it really did get us scared.
Mhm.
And I think because of her sort of the way she was, I think things were probably happening around her more so.
Yes. She was almost
And
attracting it.
yeah, that's right. And it was so sad that, people should say things like that
Yeah.
and not actually know what it would mean to a person.
That's the thing. I think. Sorry, the cat's in the background.
Yeah.
Um, People just tend to run away with the idea of somewhere being haunted, but without thinking about the people who are left there. It's
Yeah.
all fun and games to sit there and tell a scary story, but then you get to go home at the end of the night and you get to go to your safe house. And there are people who live in properties that are genuinely scared to be there, and I personally cannot think of anything worse than being scared in your own home from something that you can't
Yeah.
see, or that you don't know who it is. And I think that's probably why I sort of went the residential side as well, because it's just that idea of helping someone feel happy and acknowledged in their home, whether they're living or dead, in all honesty. So
Yeah,
I
that's
do get quite a few residential properties coming through, to the extent that I have recently, I've put a call out, a request really, because when I get residential properties and the people need help locally to me, so we're talking like West Midlands and Worcestershire, I've got a ream of people that I can put them in touch with.
yeah.
But further afield nationally, no, I haven't. So I've actually asked, well, I put a post out asking if anyone would be willing to sort of sign up to a directory almost. I'll call
Oh,
them the
that's
haunted
good.
helpers. So, if I've got a property in Wales where someone's struggling, I can put them in touch with someone local. So
Yeah.
anyone who's watching this or listening to this that would like to sign up for it, just contact me. I mean, it's more a case of building a community and a reliable record of people who can look after you if you're in a position where something or someone is around you in your home and you're not comfortable with it.
Yeah, I was asking about for a person in Swansea because they
Hmm.
needed help, but there are other things as well which I don't know. I think sometimes you get a sixth sense about things, don't you?
Yes.
And I did, and there's just something I don't know. So yeah, it's just one of those.
Well,
Uh,
that's the other side of the coin, because you do get people reaching out saying that they want help, and when you offer it them, they don't necessarily take the advice.
that
I've,
that's right. I've had that as well. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and they
I
they
think
ended up with ghost hunters going round, and if they had problems then, um, they would have more problems afterwards. To be fair.
exactly,
Because
exactly,
it's
because
not people need to realise it's not a free ghost hunt, but
no,
unfortunately so many do that. It
no, it's
totally
not, and
does.
it's not somewhere that like, as I said, you can close the door and leave at the end of the night. If you're prodding the cage and stirring up energy, and not doing anything with it when it responds
Mm.
to you, then yeah, you're opening a can of worms there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I sort of take a good medium with me, and then
Yes.
if she wants help, sort of go out with her. She's like Loughborough based, so
Yeah.
yeah, we do sort out things in this area.
Hmm.
If we sort of get calls or anything, but yeah, you've got to be careful and you've got to take that responsibility.
Yeah, I 100%. I think you do have to, you know, acknowledge that you're playing your part in this, and know that anyone that you recommend to help, you trust. Um,
Definitely, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I did ask the Wednesbury lads actually, because I know, well, Hex, I did
yeah.
know sort of thing. I think you froze at the moment, but I can hear your
I
voice. It's a,
am. Yeah, I've just spotted that. I have
it's a
frozen,
bit
but
strange.
as long as you can hear me, that's the main
Yeah,
thing.
I can
So,
hear you. That's fine. Just hope everybody else can.
yeah.
So you spent a lot of time at Bewdley Museum. So how did that start?
Many, many, many moons ago, myself and three friends, we attended a ghost hunt um, as paying attendees and absolutely fell in love with the place. That's what I think officially led me on my ghost hunting. I hate to call it ghost hunting, but my curiosity, um, the path of it. And unfortunately, the lad who ran the event, he was employed by Bewdley Museum, and I'm back, wonderful.
Oh, I
Um,
clicked on it. Yeah,
yeah,
that works.
we stayed in touch. His name was Ross. So we stayed in touch, and we sort of chat about various different things because we had quite similar backgrounds. And then the one day he sort of said, "Look, I've had enough with running the events at the museum." He was training to be a policeman, so it kind of went against that. So he was struggling to juggle it basically. And he said, would you like to take it on? So we approached the museum, and it turns out I got on really, really well with the lady who looks after those events. And the rest, they say, is history. Yeah. Yeah. I've been there 5 years now. Yeah. So it's a double whammy for me because I love the site. As strange as it sounds, I've managed to build a relationship with the energies that are there. So who's communicating with you by the modes of communication that they use. I've
Right.
I've sort of spread the word about local history and legend. I've um, done it as a case study as well. I'm a big advocate of not being a one-hit wonder. If you're going to go to a site, don't just do it once. Go back several
Yeah,
times because every time you go, you will find something different. You will hear something different. You will build trust so that these spirits,
that's
who are
it.
just people at the end of the day, will trust you more. You're not going to speak to a complete stranger and tell them anything and everything about yourself. So you need to build that element of trust. So that's what I've
That's
been able to
right.
do and learn about the importance of at Bewdley. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So I guess you've gained many more stories now, haven't you, from when you
Yes.
first went?
Absolutely. I mean, I can remember being told by the people who were sort of running the event with Ross, there's in the brass foundry area, there's a really, really threatening male figure. He hates women. He's very authoritative. He's very oppressive. Be careful. Hello. So of course you are immediately on. You're scared. You're nervous. You're like, oh good God, I don't really want to do this.
Yeah.
But only through time and various visits, both as an event and just going in because it's local to me, and I'll go in a day and have a chat with them. Um, exactly, Carl. My thoughts exactly. It's always different. Um, this male threatening authoritative figure, um, it actually turned into a person for me. His name was
Oh,
Fred.
beautiful.
Yeah, he was a site foreman. He was a man of his time. Now, yes, he may come across to us now, you know, as bossy, threatening, quite crude and rude, and a
Mm,
bit sort of misogynistic. But he's a man of his time. You need to put people into perspective and think that they're functioning according to them in their time.
that's
So
right.
whilst they would use certain words or phrases which we would frown upon now, and would say are not PC
That's it.
suitable. It is for them. You're dealing with them and their languages and what they know of their time. So that was the biggest thing. This horrible male threatening figure became someone that I was able to
Mhm.
talk to quite freely, and as long as you ignore the swearing, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
it's
he's
lovely though, isn't it? Just to sort of get to know someone for who they are
yeah, one
from
hundred
that
percent.
time.
And like I said,
Yeah.
we know what area he will be in. We will know exactly when he's coming because a couple of the other spirits will be quiet, And but I would never be scared of being in there on my own with him. Whereas we were
Oh,
told before,
shame.
oh, you only go in twos. You won't. You have to be very careful. And but no, Fred. He's like a grumpy uncle or granddad. That's probably the
Yeah.
best way I can describe him. Yeah.
See, that's it because they had families.
Yeah.
Most of these spirits they had families. They were
Mhm.
somebody's. They had probably sons that were maybe a grandfather, husband, whatever, and yeah,
Yeah.
they live their lives, and yeah, people just get these ideas like evil, but no, not necessarily. And there's one I spoke to at Haunted Antiques, and wow, he was so grumpy. I just felt it coming off him.
Yeah.
But then I acknowledged him, and I picked up something else, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden, I found out that basically everybody was like ignoring him, and he was frustrated.
Yeah, but you would be, wouldn't you?
And
You
yeah,
know.
so all of a sudden, like, oh, hello, you acknowledge him. And that
Hmm.
was it. It's broken the ice.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
it's incredible.
Can you imagine walking into a room and it's full of people and no
Yeah,
one would look at you or acknowledge you? You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get angry. Resentful almost, because it's like, well, why am I not important enough to talk to? So,
that's
no,
right. Yeah,
I,
because there
I
are certain spirits, like I go to Haunted Antiques, and there are certain spirits who come through there quite frequently. So
mhm,
this was a gentleman I've not come across before, and if like automatically everyone's talking to certain characters, then yeah, it is different.
mhm,
Like Cole says, the old language, the old Bolton language for him is practically dead.
yeah,
And yeah, it does change, and words change drastically, don't they?
they
Like,
do. I mean,
really?
if you think in the future, if someone was to reach back and communicate with, say, my teenage daughter, for example, I don't know what she means half the time.
No.
But that doesn't mean she's not communicating. It's just I don't understand her language.
Yeah, it's
But-
like this, like the heart thing. Like,
Mhm.
like you put hearts on things, but a different heart means a different thing depending on the
Oh, I
colour.
know, I know,
Like,
I know.
I'm not even bothering. Like, I'm sorry if I put a heart on something, I'm just putting it on for heart,
Hmm.
rather than what it actually means. So if I do screw up, then so be it. I'm old,
Yeah.
so there you go. I'm
What
not going to then
what
colour
Paul
the
just mentioned
heart.
about, like, knowing your language or your dialect, that's why research is the key as far as I'm concerned as well, because you know I'm not familiar with what the older dialect would have been, but if
Yeah.
you've got an idea or just some vague comprehensive of it, you can lead the conversation. Whereas if something's been said and you've not even done a tiny bit of digging, you probably think that it's when you've been on a Ouija board and you get nonsense words and things like that,
Yes.
you think it's not communication, or it's something that's not worth listening or hearing. Hello, Michelle. But just do a bit of research and know the background of the place. So
Yeah.
knowledge is power, really. The more you can learn about the history of a place, the better results you'll get. You'll be able to put it into context, and something as simple as an old word or old phrase can give you very good evidence to say that you are dealing with someone from the past.
Oh wow. Okay. So near me is Walkden.
Yeah,
The real way to say it is Wagden
yeah.
something. But okay.
But you get
Yeah.
that a lot in the Black
But
Country.
yeah.
I mean, like with the Wednesbury lads, some of the things that they say. I'm trying to think one that Neil says, and it's like, you've got no idea what they're talking about, but they have. So it's like, if it comes up when we're doing an invest, it's perfect. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah, sort of. I'm sort of getting to know a female at Newstead, and it's just great to go back to that place and sort of try and learn more information. And
yeah.
actually, the first time I actually went there, sort of hosting, as I went out the door, a lady shouted my name, Jackie. Um, Amanda, Barry's sister, heard it as well.
Hmm.
And she says to me, "Oh, I've heard a voice, your name." And like, wow. And I think it's her. So, yeah. So I thought that was somebody else who did that, but I think it must be her who's done it. So now she started coming through, and it's interesting because the story doesn't actually go with history.
No,
Now, there is a well known story, and it I'm getting that she is linked to it, but it's
yeah.
not how the story has been put through history. So I'm really intrigued now. So I'm just trying to find out more and more information out about her.
This
And
is
even
the thing with history. It's sort it's his story. History is normally the account of the winners, the ones who succeeded, and the
And the
little
gentry.
ordinary, yeah, or the
Yeah,
ordinary people that didn't register or didn't have any level of power or importance. That their history is very seldom known. That's why something like what we do, getting to know the normal people, as it were, because what I do won't be recorded in the history books for this time period, but there's going to be people that will know somewhere that you existed, and it's validating that.
yeah, that's right. And it is like they they didn't want people to know things, did they?
No,
They certainly didn't. So yeah, it is interesting. But what you found out for me was incredible, though.
thank you.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
So I really gave you some vague information, a rough date, details of somebody's name, and I didn't have a full name because he came through in trance. And yeah, and you actually sort of worked out who it was.
Well, there were some contenders. I remember
There
writing the
were some
report. Yeah,
contenders, yeah, that's
and I
right.
put whether they were law abiding or not so law
Yeah,
abiding, because
that's
there were
right.
quite
You've
a
got that
few. So
information, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's it.
no, I'm just chuffed that we found who we needed to find. That's the biggest reward.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, because like under trance conditions, he gave his name, but he was kind of forced to say it, so he
Yeah.
wasn't happy. So he didn't actually give his full surname. So
Hmm.
very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, he tried to sort of get us off the track, didn't
Yeah,
he? Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's it. And you've uncovered more history about Nottingham, haven't you?
Yes, I. It's a bit of light reading for me because not all my reading is research based. I bought a book for my birthday where it's to do with medieval. It's an illustrated guide to medieval punishment. It's a fabulous book.
Wow.
Um, and I noticed as I was reading through it that Nottingham was cropping up a lot. To do with now someone's going to have to correct me on this because I never know which way I'm meant to say it. Is it gibbets or gibbets?
Yeah,
The
I think it's
cages.
gibbets. Yeah,
Gibbet. Okay, so we'll stick with that
that's
one.
what I go with.
The cages where
Yeah,
obviously criminals will be put in, and the common misconception is that they would already be dead in there, tarred and feathered, and then sort of like put on display. Now, I didn't realise that these gibbets would be put at the sites of murders, not at sort of. I always thought, oh, it's crossroads, or
I thought Crossroads.
you
Yeah.
know, boundary walls, kind of things to act as warnings. But to find out that they were erected at the site of where a murder occurred, like that they were guilty of, it
Wow.
just it blew my mind because it just opens up the fact that there could have been gibbets left, right, and centre. Um, but the thing is that how it refers to Nottingham is the fact that in this text that I was reading, it said that they were outside the galleries of justice, and their speciality, and I say I don't want to be so crude as call it speciality, but their peculiarity then was the fact that rather than putting a tarred and feather corpse in the cage, which would rot away, they would put living criminals in the cage, and basically passers-by will be able to watch them slowly um,
Oh. Oh.
fade and die and go crazy. And apparently, it's noted. I wish I got the book with me actually,
Oh my
but
gosh.
the cries were absolutely horrendous, and they would echo up and down Nottingham. You could hear them for miles. The
Oh
screams of
my
these
gosh.
dying people. Yeah,
So what are you talking, 1800s or prior?
prior,
Oh,
about
well, yeah,
1700s. Yeah,
that's relief, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, but,
yeah.
oh, it's shocking, and it's so barbaric what used to happen in our sort of
Mm,
cities and in our country, and
yeah,
it was the norm, wasn't it?
yeah. It was, well, it was a spectator sport, wasn't it? People would
Oh,
actually
definitely.
go to view. But this is what blows my mind because really, in some respects, we've not progressed because not so much now, but people will go on YouTube and watch, people get beheaded or the
Yeah.
like, and it's just a different mode. I think there's still that morbid curiosity
Oh,
there,
there is, yeah,
but it's
definitely.
just I want to say cleaner because it's not face to face. you've got a
Yeah.
screen separating you from it.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
um, but no, I mean, the other thing with Nottingham, and I think I put this in the report, so it's quite well known that, on the actual street under the pavement, that where they had the hanging stand, as it
Yeah.
were, they wouldn't take the bodies off and bury them somewhere else. They would literally bury them where the stand was. So as you're walking up and down past the galleries, you're walking on corpses. It's just, and
Yeah.
that was rife. That wasn't exclusive to Nottingham, but it was just, I find that particularly intriguing because obviously, unfortunately, I myself have never been to the galleries. I want to go, desperately want to go, but I've heard it's so prolific with its activity
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not surprised, because you've got bodies unconsecrated, unnamed, just under your feet, and that
Yeah.
just blows me away.
You like the oubliette they found in 2015, so I'm not
Yeah,
sure if I got into it. They are uncovering more caves under
yeah,
the cave system now.
hmm,
There's one bit where it's called the dark cells, and you've got this area which is like a cave, and
yeah,
it's really gruesome in there, and you are getting dark entities.
hmm.
Like like what mediums see there is quite it's awful, it's not even human half the time.
Would you
Getting
find
this
that
really horrible imagery.
these cells would have been used for the more nefarious criminals? The how can I put it?
You got the dark cells, which are
Yeah.
the nasty ones, then you got the normal, the more normal ones, because they use the cells to then get people into court, and there you go, the
Ah.
house in the same place. So, but
Hmm.
yeah, you've got the dark cells, you've got a room where women, when they're giving birth, and that was, I picked up more information on that.
Yeah.
The oubliettes near the dark cells and that cave, and
Yeah.
they had a chapel down there as well, which is where I did my first investigation and got something. And it, oh, he just, and Barry John actually gave me a photo recently, and they did some building work nearby. And
Mm.
as they took away the basement, there are all these bones, and I'll show you it.
Yeah.
Because they dug away quite a bit of that street, and and oh dear, yeah. So that, when I saw that, I thought, it's so horrific, isn't it? All these, and they wouldn't have known who they were.
No. You've got no
Like,
real way of knowing,
just
have you?
strangers and people wrong place, whatever, and yeah, it's just shocking how many, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. We all hope that they were guilty and they got their just desserts, but it doesn't work like that, does it?
No,
And also,
no.
the crimes that they were found guilty of. I know, like at the Four Crosses, um, the top bedrooms, that they were actually used as holding cells for
Wow.
the assizes. And if you have a look in the one bedroom, it's got the ensuite attached to it. You can see the original beams, and there's marks in it. And basically, this is where the prisoners would be held before learning their fate. So some would be going to overseas, some would be sent for hard labour, and some would be sent for the death penalty. And you think, oh, death penalty, they must have been murderers themselves. It's got to be terrible. They're getting what they deserve. But there are records where people were given the death penalty for stealing a horse, and
Well, even
so
less than that, wasn't it? Like
exactly, yeah,
people just trying to feed themselves.
yeah,
Because they had
feed
no
themselves and
money, the
families.
fruit and something, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, it's sometimes the extreme punishment does not fit the crime. I just,
No,
when I find that out, it's like that. That's just, it's horrible. Don't get me wrong. Crimes, yes, indeed, should be punished. But
that's right.
when someone's getting away, I think the other crime was they'd stolen some potatoes and they were sent for hard labour. So I just couldn't fathom it out. It mystifies me how
Yeah,
cruel and vicious things were, and I think that's possibly why there are echoes. It's particularly at places like the Four Crosses, because people were sort of, their lives were stolen for very simple, silly reasons. There was just
yeah,
no compassion or empathy. It was just very black and white.
Yeah, and it's amazing what is hidden. Like Four Crosses, I didn't know about that history. I don't know
Hmm.
much about it. I have been, and that cellar, that cellar is well dark, isn't it?
We had a phenomenal session down in the cellar. I mean, the first time I went, I thought it was a fabulous place because of the original features, but I
Yes.
didn't really gain a lot. Whereas we were there, it was last month, it was with Hex and Wednesday Paranormal. It was like an overnight vigil.
Mm.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Um, and we were down the cellar, and the group we were with, we were doing. It did start off. I think it was a Ouija board session, um, and it evolved into something else. And there was a lady that was with us, and apparently she's renowned for being a fantastic medium,
Wow, cool.
and on Estes and the like, and things like that. Just very, very sensitive. Um, and it went it really really pulled at my heartstring because we actually got in touch with a German soldier
Oh,
who
wow.
was buried. Obviously there's the German cemetery nearby at Cannock, and he was trying to bribe us so he could go home because he just wanted to go home to his partner. I think it was his wife or his girlfriend, and it was very humbling because don't get me wrong, we know who we were fighting against in the world wars, but to hear hi Nigel, um, to hear a soldier that was ordered to come across and was shot down by enemy fire, just wanting to go home, it really broke my heart because it's
Mm.
putting a face on something and it's telling a story, and it was just how he was offering to bribe us, and fortunately one of the ladies we were with could actually speak German. So when
Wow,
it was coming through, she was telling us, and she could answer him in German as well. And it was just,
that's
I've
beautiful.
never known anything like it. Never known at all. And it was amazing, an absolutely amazing evening.
That
Yeah.
that is fascinating because, like, once sort of said, like, what if it's a different language? And a lot, like, who we speak to, it might be Old English or it might be a different
Hmm.
language. And it's great that you could have the conversation, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 And again, old language again. I remember we were in, again, it's the Four Crosses, and we were like what was formerly the bar area.
Mm.
Um, and we had a phrase come through about a Judas chair, and it kind of it clicked something in my head, but I couldn't have told you what. So
Yeah.
I did make a note of it, and when I looked at it, a Judas chair was actually a medieval form of punishment. And
Oh,
obviously, the Four Crosses, it has been going for many many hundreds of years, and before that, there was sort of settlements and stuff on the site near a crossroads. So again, we would have had a gibbet,
yeah,
a gibbet, um, and a very main route to get to and from London and things like that.
definitely.
Um,
Yeah.
and a recognised Roman road, but Judas share was a form of punishment. So it all tied in with the fact that the building had been at one point used as a court and for legal proceedings. So yeah,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
uh,
It's just so
uh,
fascinating. Like, it's a pub. People don't see past that, do they?
no, no,
And like the information, I didn't realize all that.
no. It,
I've
it,
been, I enjoyed it, but I didn't know all that history about it.
Well, the other thing you've got, I mean, with the Four Crosses and also the Ram, and probably with quite a few other the older, more antiquated sites, is they've got repurposed wood beams from ships that are about 1,000 years old.
Oh, of
So then
course.
you've
Yeah,
got
you've
the
got that
residual
as well.
energy off that as
Of
well.
course you have.
So lots of different energies. I mean, another thing when we were there. Um, you have to be careful because obviously this is still in living memory of some people. But
Yeah.
the the murders of the young schoolgirls there. I think it's the A34. Oh, I'm going to get shot for not remembering this, but yeah, in the 60s there was a couple of girls who were abducted and their bodies found at Cannock. I don't know the exact location, and the gent was found, fortunately, and charged and sort of sent to prison. But we had him come through. But it was only when I looked at it after we knew for definite because of the name. None of us knew the name. You know, it was just something that had been vaguely mentioned because there's a possible explanation of the black-eyed children.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I
You've
mean,
got the link between the two places, then, have you?
sorry, what was that?
You've got the link with the black-eyed children, then?
Yeah, possibly. Down. A lot of people believe it's to do with the murders of these young girls. I mean, I think he was only ever found guilty with 1 or 2 of the murders, but there were 5 bodies in total.
Wow.
Um, yeah, if Neil's watching this, he'll have to let us know what the road name is. But
Oh, bless. That's
yeah, I
interesting.
mean that again, it's when it kind of emerges from a good ghost story to scare you that's very much in the past to something that's a hell of a lot more recent, and
Something
we can
real.
all
Yeah.
actually go, you know, it's easy to find the evidence, it's easy to find some supporting information on it. So yeah.
That's fascinating. So you've been to Cannock Chase investigating. What sort of things do you pick up on there?
Well, we did the Castle Ring. This was like the first time I met the Wednesbury Paranormal lot.
Oh, wow.
Castle Ring was great, a lot of energy. Then we
Yeah.
went to the old hunting lodge, and that was my first go at Estes, and getting a lot through about a female figure. I mean, this is going back about 3 years now. It was the woods by the Pigman Woods.
Okay.
We had, and this is Dan who got this, and we only found out the next morning. A werewolf growl. Hello, Catherine. Yeah, and I mean, I went to Cannock because I've got a particular interest in the werewolf sort of sightings and legends and the like. And when we realised afterwards that Den had caught a werewolf growl the next day, it was just
Wow.
phenomenal. Yeah,
Incredible.
yeah. I don't think I'll ever beat that, being sent that recording, and it's very clear. Fair play to Den for actually getting that recording. It was amazing. Yeah. So, and there's another group that go there quite regularly that I haven't been with them, but I stay in touch with Gail, who's like the group's leader, and they do some phenomenal experiments up there. Like they did one where it was to do. I don't know the ins and outs because obviously they're holding it close to their chest, which I
Yeah.
100% agree. But to do with
You've got
remote
to be
viewing
careful.
in
Yeah.
America and things, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've sort of tried an experiment with remote viewing, and
Hmm.
that was to the US. And yeah, I was getting up stuff what was in the lady's room, and she was picking up about the location we were in. So it is
Wow.
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
something
really
I
is.
know very little about, but I'm curious about, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin to sort of quiet my brain enough to be able to tap into it. So,
So no, you
anyone,
just try and visualize just like you would anything, I guess.
really?
Um, there's this Japanese lady, Irene, and she was trying to solve something, and she actually does, I think, yeah, she goes and helps all around the world, but she's based in
Hmm.
Japan. And one day she said she needed some help on it. I thought, oh, okay. So somehow I managed to, I got a vision and I described what was trying to help. And then she says, oh, couldn't you know help pass her over? And I kind of felt it, and I
Mm.
knew. And she says, "Oh, you've done it," and it's like, "Oh, okay." And you think,
Wow.
well, yeah, it's just weird.
Hmm.
Because I thought, oh, I could say I'm going to do that. I thought, shall I just say I'm going to do it, or shall I try and, because you
Yeah,
think, well, it's not going to make any difference, you think, but I don't know. It's just like, she says, oh, so you don't know if you actually did anything, or, it's there, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I can. I remember I'd watched. It was on Netflix. And, don't judge me on it, but it was sort of like the unexplained. And there was a gent called, is it Steve Meara? He's a very well-known
Yeah.
ufologist.
Yes.
He had been working with a gent who was a medium, and it was basically proving if he was, because Steve Meara, who I've never met, but I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic. He was testing him to see how, whether he was a bit of a con or not, and he used remote viewing on that, and again blew my mind. Anyone who's able to tap into that, I'm in awe of. absolutely in awe. So I mean, I think it's definitely a thing, but I think you have to be a very special person to be able to do it. You know, whether that's in my view, you know, to be able
Yeah,
to tap
to
into it
do
and to
it
be able to do it.
properly, you know, it
Yeah.
is like I think my friend can do it.
Hmm.
She's fantastic medium, and it is a hell of a skill, isn't it? It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Karen. Thank you.
Hi, Karen.
But, but yeah, mediumship can be amazing, but it is so hard to prove it, isn't it? Because they had that award offered, didn't they? And
Hmm.
like nobody could actually prove it, and like, how can you prove it to somebody who's really skeptical about something? And even if
Yeah.
you give the information, then they'll go, "Oh, you got it from here." You know,
But
so they're not willing to believe it either, are they?
no, this is my problem. Like I said, I respect parapsychologists and the work that they do. I think it's an essential part of
Definitely.
paranormal. Yeah, but
Yes.
you kind of feel that they're setting you up with impossible goals to achieve because you know it doesn't matter what evidence we come up with. There's always a get out clause for them.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
and it just frustrates me because you know I listen to different podcasts and there's skeptics on there and they're saying, oh well, if this happened it was because of this and it was that this happened it's because of that, and it seems
We
more
haven't asked.
fantastic.
We haven't looked at it, you know.
No, well it just to me seems more fantastical for their conditions to be in place to
Mm,
explain this apparently non-paranormal activity than it just to actually acknowledge that yeah that's something that I can't explain. It's
that's it.
yeah, yeah. It does frustrate me because, like I said, I respect parapsychologists in all their shapes and forms, but I just wish that they maybe cut us a bit of slack as
That's
you know
right.
paranormal investigators or paranormal historians and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah, because
hmm
we like the cat ball. Okay, we know what it is. We know
hmm
it can have its problems, whatever. But if it's answering on demand and it's not reacting with your voice every time you speak,
hmm
then what is causing it? And they
yeah,
go scientifically, this. Well, this is out of science. We don't know.
no, exactly.
Hello.
Morning.
Like you love cat balls, don't you, Mark? Or kitty
Well,
balls, shall I say?
um,
But we don't, you know, you've got the science behind things, but it's that other element, isn't it? And we just don't know.
no, we don't. We don't. And I mean, the thing, especially with cat balls, Andy Guy, he's
I've got,
developed this amazing piece of tech that is beautiful in its simplicity, where you can put the cat ball on it, can't you? And it sort of
yeah,
hopefully gives you conditions where you can discount all these ifs and buts and things like that.
yeah,
So, because Neil's got one and I've not been with him whilst he's used it, but he was saying it's an excellent bit of kit, you know. So I think the more challenges we get set by the parapsychologists and all these different conditions, it's good because it's making us hone our skills. And so people like Andy Guy, who's very much tech orientated
oh,
and
he
absolutely
is. And
bloody
science as
fantastic,
well.
fantastic.
He
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
He is
He's
incredible.
it's letting us hone our skills, you know, and it's yeah, yeah, that it's one of those that the more they say no, I think the more the field of the paranormal will fight harder to prove. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. And that's why you have to bring up that topic, isn't it? But hey, I'm naughty. Things happen. So yeah, I've got a lot of his kit, and it
Hmm.
does go off a lot around me,
Yeah.
and I don't know why. And it like I'm sort of at an investigation. I put it out, and it's beeping and flashing all around me, and it's like,
Mm.
well, why are you doing that? And it shouldn't go off as much as it does, but it's not faulty. But
Have you got an electrical thing, an anomaly about yourself?
well, I don't
No.
know. I have no idea.
It's right. I only ask because I mean this is a running joke like with friends that I can take something that's very reliable and I don't know how, but I just seem
Oh,
to
you
break
break
it.
it? No,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
break things.
yeah. So you know, cars you can take a car that's been running 100% before I get my hands on it, and then I can break it in a week.
Right. Okay.
You know, I know I can't think what the phrase is, but there is a
Yeah.
certain ism or something where people are more. There's something to do with the electrical currents where you can affect electrical frequencies and things. So yeah, my nan was like, "It hello, South Carolina. Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it?"
Well, nice. We've got Auckland.
I
We've got South
know,
Carolina.
and we're freezing.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like springtime. I was speaking to Mark the other day, and it's springtime.
Yeah,
Oh wow, that'd be so nice. Springtime.
I know they're getting to the good weather, and we've just lost
Yeah,
it. So fair play.
that's right. But yeah, yeah, I but then well, I used my mum's car the other, not my car, and I parked it up. Key, went round to the other side, the other door to get some shopping out, and all of a sudden the lights came on.
Hmm.
Now the thing is, the lights only come on with your key in the ignition.
Yeah.
Like you turn it off, all the lights were off,
Hmm.
and then it came on. Mhm.
Guardian angel. That could be the other reason why the equipment goes off around you, because you have got. I don't like using the word attachment because it's always got those negative connotations to it. But um, you know, someone who follows you about, a family member or a
Yeah,
yeah,
I think my dad likes the Andy Guy things.
yeah,
It used to be the cat baller, but it's moved on to the blue and red one.
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I think he does that, and I think Nando's gone now. But I did have it was some string lights, 10 of them, like cat
I
balls,
know.
but yeah,
Yeah,
I've got them.
yeah.
Not the expensive ones, the cheaper ones, which are more like cat ball rather than the
Hmm.
ones which change colour. And it was happening at Derby Jail in the cell.
Yeah,
And I said, "Is that my dad?" And then I asked my dad to move away, and that was it. Stopped doing
mm,
it. So yeah.
yeah,
So he does, and like when I get excited as well, things happen. So
yeah,
it's like raising my vibrations as well, isn't it?
yeah.
So
I'm wondering as well, like your dad, was he one of those that used to like tinkering and little, bits of kit and you know what I mean? He
not
liked to fix things or
oh gosh, not more recently, but like I remember now as a kid, he was always messing with his car.
that's something,
Yeah,
it's like my
yeah, you've got it. Yeah,
my my granddad. We used to he used to like fixing things, anything and everything. So anything along those lines, or a nice bit of sort of like unusual kit, like the lights and things like that. They want to have a look at. There's a curiosity. So
yeah.
I yeah, I just wonder if it's your dad just having a nose, thinking what's she up
I
to
do
now.
think so, and
Yeah,
it is funny, and like you're at an investigation, it's like, oh, it's my dad again. Hello, dad.
yeah,
And it's like you're trying to connect to in my dad's house. It
yeah.
is wonderful, but yeah, it's awkward when it's sort of hosting a public event, and then, oh, hello, dad.
At least he approves of what you do if he's there.
Yeah, he does. I don't think, you know, like my mum was quite religious, so I can't, she wouldn't really have been into this or
Yeah,
approved what I do, but she has said to a medium she knows now why I do this.
yeah,
She understands now because I think it came up just before she passed. It sort of
mm,
raised its head more,
yeah,
and then once again my mediumship lessons sort of started again just before I lost my dad, and
yeah,
it's just a bit strange, and yeah, it kind of helped me through a loss as well,
yeah. It would
and
do. Yeah.
it really does, and somehow it found me, and that's it, and
Hmm.
yeah, it keeps me going at weekends, doesn't it? Well,
Well,
it's not
that's
just
it.
weekends though, is it?
But if it gives you comfort and guidance and a link to family members in some shape or form, then I don't see any harm or anything with it. In fact, I think I wish more people would maybe entertain the thought, and might help the grief process be a little bit easier, if I'm honest. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, it does change your mind though. Once you realise something is out there, it does change your perspective massively, doesn't it?
yeah. You put things into perspective. I mean, it's weird because I mean I'm a big fan of Uncanny and constantly listening to the podcast. And I always remember Danny
Yeah.
Robbins saying that part of what pushed him to do the Uncanny or the other two projects he had beforehand was because he got a real fear of death. And I think we can all relate to that. So reaching out or back or above like we do is maybe well, it is a comfort, isn't it? You know, I like to think that, you know, hopefully many years
Yeah.
in the future when I do sort of die, that people will remember me, little obscure memories. Why I do the haunted historian work, I like to learn the little obscure things about people. So you might think that, I don't know,
Right.
a, something very insignificant to everyone else is significant to you because it's your loved one, it's your person, you
That's
know.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it is that sort of thing that people want to come through from the mediums. Like my sister, she's more mediumistic than me. I've done
yeah.
development, and I don't know what's happened now because I'm not picking up anything. It's really annoying, to be fair, but it's what
Mm,
it is. But she kind of denies it more, but I think she picks up more than me.
yeah,
And she knew when Mum was around. She
yeah,
could say, and I kind of tried to arrange it so that I got Mum to go to the house
yeah.
one day, but my sister was ill and didn't make it. I
Hmm.
thought, I think whether she's fearful or not, I don't know. But
I
yeah,
think
in a way,
sometimes, I mean, this is going back to when I was younger and I was more sensitive. Um, Sometimes you don't want to be that person that's able to sense things because, I mean, my common thing when I was younger is, as I mentioned previously, I get a horrible feeling of dread.
yeah, that's bad.
And
Yeah,
it's not being able to pinpoint what it is, and it's not being able to get rid of it, and it's not being able to understand it. All you know is that something's coming. I mean, I remember the worst one I had. It was a Saturday evening. I was out with my now ex-husband, and I had this horrible feeling to the extent that I was actually in tears. Couldn't have told you why.
wow.
Just I knew that I was really upset. And then about later in the morning, so I'd say about 6 hours later, I got a call from my dad saying that my nana died, and it's just I'd have
Mm,
paid money to get rid of that horrible feeling of just loss and
yeah,
confusion and just knowing that something's coming and you can't do anything about it. So maybe
wow.
that's like with your sister, because we like to think that anything we get through is a nice happy message from a loved one or someone who's passed, but sometimes it's not always pleasant, is it? It's not always easy to deal with or to
No, that's
vocalize.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a medium brought something through for me at the ghost hunt, and
Mm.
he didn't really know what he was saying, but I knew what he was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just my dog being present and another dog get a mention
Mm.
basically inferred to me that that dog had got cancer and got through it, and that
Yeah.
my dog was going to get something similar, and he did. You know,
I
and
remember you
my
mentioning this
family
to me.
kind
Yeah.
of, yeah, my family kind of like warned me,
Mm.
and that was like the October, and then like December he started having fits and stuff, and then
Mm.
yeah, I know I mentioned it in relation to something else which we won't go into, but
Mm.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
truly, yeah, and it is. It is odd because, like, mediums, they shouldn't pass bad things through, but he sort of told me what he thought was nice and okay, "Oh, your
Mm.
dog's here," but actually, yeah, sort of as soon as that was mentioned, I knew that night something was gonna
Hmm.
happen, and I just thought, like, it was just that when he did get ill, I sort of took him straight to the vets, which you would anyway, but it more so, it's like immediately,
Yeah.
and, I never thought that would be the outcome, but yeah, it's just one of those, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, the one good thing is, like you said, you did get to the vets quicker, so that there was a certain amount of validation and power in being able to get to the vets quicker. But it's just
Yeah,
knowing that really, I think
wouldn't
that
have made
sense of
any difference, but yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, once somebody's, somebody's got a dog, it's yeah, but aye. So what are your plans then? So you've set up the haunted historian, and congratulations on that. That is awesome.
Thank
Because
you.
the information you gave me was, it's incredible. It's a brilliant, well written report as well, with a lot of information on there. Um, and and you've been doing that for a lot of people, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. As I mentioned, I do it for investigation teams. I do it for residentials. Um, it looks like next year is going to be very, very busy. As I said, there's a project which will take me somewhere that's linked to a national
Ooh.
group, which I can't mention at this point, but
Oh
I'm very
no, that's
excited.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That's brilliant.
I'm sort of in collaboration with the Folklore Library, Archive and Library. That's down in Cornwall Way. That will
Wow.
be something that's happening. Um, I've got collaborations with Kath Cookson. We're heading over to Germany to do a report on pretty much the epicenter of the witchcraft trials in Germany,
Beautiful.
with Donna
Kath,
Lou.
that Kath is fantastic. She really is.
She's absolute.
She's so lovely. Yeah, she's
There's something
wonderful.
about her that's just very nurturing. Hello, Nicola. Uh,
Yeah, there is,
Very nurturing
definitely.
and inspiring, and it's just, yeah, she's a phenomenal woman. I love her to
Yeah,
bits. I love her to bits.
definitely. Yeah.
But
She
then I'm
warned
doing,
me at the parameet really to sort of take it easy and step away for a bit,
yeah,
and obviously I've broken my arm, so that was kind of enforced as well. But
yeah,
yeah,
yes, yes,
she was there with
exactly.
that message, and it was weird that I hadn't got anything booked for 6 weeks either.
Yeah,
So
see,
yeah,
everything does work out, doesn't it? It's
yeah,
weird.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was, apart from getting to the parameet, everything else, I hadn't booked anything, and yet my calendar's usually quite
I was going to
full,
say, you're normally around, aren't you? On the go all the
Yeah,
time. So,
yeah, it's it's getting full for next year already, which is
mhm.
mad. It, I think I'm
um,
going to like 3 Paracons already. So yeah, and that's mm.
I was thinking of doing Parameet next year, the
Oh
summer
wow,
solstice one.
yeah, solstice, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because I've not ventured yet to that. So and a couple of
yeah,
people, well, quite a few people that I know are going anyway. So it's sort of thinking it might be a nice way to meet people that I've only chatted with online, in the flesh, as it
yeah.
were. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it is nice because, like, I kind of knew people. I knew most of the people who'd gone there, but like, I went to the North one and met a couple, Ruth and Jamie, Paranormal Truth, and now
hmm
they sort of help us out with when I do things with Barry John. So,
yeah,
like just a meeting. Like, I was on the door there, I welcomed them, we had a chat, and then now they're at my birthday party on Friday, and
mm.
yeah, and you just get to meet these people, don't you?
Well, it's
I'd
when I did
ordinarily might
festival.
not have done.
Well, when I did festival with the Festival of the Unexplained with Karen and Russ and everyone, I knew a couple of people who were going to be there, obviously, but not
Yeah,
many. And I was really nervous about how it would be received because it was to do with it's the talk I do. It's not just Rosemary. The link, well, basically, the witchcraft trials in medieval Europe was literally obsessed with sex with Satan, and it's just discussing that.
oh, wow.
Um, but through that, I've made some fantastic contacts with. There's Titania Fay, who's um,
I've
Falmouth, I
heard
think it is, off the top of my head. Sorry, my geography is terrible, so
seen the
sorry.
name, yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow,
we'll be doing some work together, and it was just it was weird because people that I'd never even thought of meeting, I met there. That sounds stupid, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
To investigate, I'll be doing some work with
yeah,
them as part of the sisterhood thing where we're promoting sort of women's position in the field of paranormal.
yeah,
I mean, it's not happened to me. I've been very lucky, but I know that there are colleagues of mine who have experienced harassment, threats, and just general mistreatment because of being female in the paranormal field. So it's just more giving people a safe space to talk about that, and that there's a
yeah,
lot of us in there with lots of different backgrounds. I mean, my day job is in a male environment anyway, so I'm used to.
Yes, I used to work in a
Yeah,
drawing office.
that's it.
Yeah,
It's a male industry. I'm used to the fact that women are a minority, and
yeah,
I will say this quite openly. With industries like the one that I work in, women have to work 3 times harder just to stand still against men.
hmm
And I think in some
yeah,
respects, it could be that way in the paranormal field. It's not been for me. It's been nothing but warm and welcoming. But I know that other women in the field have not had that luxury. So it's just more to give support and help to anyone that's feeling that that they're not being appreciated or treated equally. So
yeah,
again, that's something that's taken off and which I'm really excited about.
yeah. It's
Um,
the age thing as well, though, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
You know, it's women
Supernatural
and age,
sisterhood.
as I
That's it. Thank
say.
you, Karen.
Yeah,
So
and yeah, but it is still there. You do get those blockages, don't you?
yeah,
You know, they say like society's changed, but ultimately, you know, you still got these things in people's heads, haven't you? And
yeah, you
that
have.
way a lot. I used to
Yeah.
run a pub, and yeah, sort of the male conversations in that. You know, it was a while ago now, so but
Hmm.
the pubs are still going to be seen, aren't they? To be fair.
I think with things like that, the general idea is that well, you should just put up with it. It's just part of being a woman, that kind of thing. But it's like
Mm,
actually, no, we're in a progressive society. My view is just as valid as your view. Just because you've got a
that's
penis and
right.
I haven't, it doesn't make it any less
Yeah.
valid. So
Oh, I
yeah,
gave it back.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Well,
it. Like, I wouldn't get offended by anything they said. I'd just give it back as a one-liner and a
which is
like
what you
later.
need to do.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
there's this guy who came to the bar and is absolutely appalling,
Hmm.
and I actually called him something to his face, and he was astonished. And in the
Yeah.
end, he went to one side of the bar, and all his mates were the other laughing. And he's one of
Hmm.
these big,
Yeah.
you know, and like, yeah, I just eyeballed him and said it straight to his face, and no,
That's
you're not going to offend me. I'm not
that's the
bothered.
thing. I think if you can confront it head on politely
Oh yeah.
and
No, I
with
wasn't
reason and
polite.
rationale,
I wasn't polite.
but you've approached you rather than ignoring it or
Yeah.
shying away from it, you've dealt with it. I mean, I always remember the one time, this is complete, sorry, it's going completely off topic from the
Oh, no,
paranormal, but
it's fine. No, this
um
this is what happens when we have the combos. Yeah.
I was parking, I was reverse parking, and I think I'm quite a good reverse parker because I have to do it every night when I park up outside my house. And there was this bloke. There you go. Karen said the
Yeah.
founders of Supernatural Sisterhood.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, there was some bloke who was waiting to get past me, and he made a passing comment to someone about my reverse, and so I actually pulled out and pulled up alongside him. I went, "What did you say?" He went, "What do you mean?" I said, "You said something about my parking. What was it?" "Oh no, no, nothing. Love, it wasn't about you. But it's just sometimes letting people know that they've been heard and what they've said isn't
Oh,
acceptable is enough to shut them up.
oh,
You know,
that's right. And
whether it
then they
opens their
haven't
mind
got
or
the
not.
guts to actually say it face to face,
Mhm.
have they?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say it in any aspect of my life, whether it's the paranormal field, whether it's day to day life. If I've ballsed up, tell me. Don't tell me behind my back because I can't change it.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
can I? Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah. And I will say things face to face.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best way. It's a grown up way to do it, and
Yeah.
it's the most productive
It
way because
is.
you can't fix things until people tell you that they need fixing.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I might be a bit too direct sometimes, but hey, that's the way I am. So
yeah. Well,
I
it,
kind of try and filter it
mhm.
if I
If you're
want to.
direct, there's no confusion. They can't say they didn't understand you, can they?
Oh, that's right. And how much I
Hmm.
filter it depending on which environment I'm in. If it's a work environment, I filter it
Yeah,
more than an outside environment. And yeah,
yeah.
I do tend to yeah, and have in the past. But
Hmm.
you have got to fight your own battles, haven't you?
Yeah,
Because nobody
yeah.
else is going to do it for you. And the more people push you, then the more they will. If you don't sort of put a halt to something, then they'll just carry on.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, obviously, some not everyone works in a team, do they? You've got your lone investigators, so to face that on your own, must be very scary. So that's the idea of our group, in that, you're not on your own, and if you share your experience, someone may have had something happen that's very similar, and they can offer help or guidance, or just an ear to listen. It's not man bashing in any shape or form. We've actually
Oh
got
God,
men
no.
in our group,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's just
it. No.
more that, there's the more diverse a group, the more experience and the more points of view you've got, and the better informed that you are, as far as I'm concerned. And I think I hope that I'm not speaking out of line, but that's the view of the group. It's, you
Yeah,
know,
that's good.
there
Yeah.
is power in difference. Yeah,
Yeah. No, that is brilliant because people do need a voice, don't they?
yeah, yeah,
Um, as
100%.
long as as long as it doesn't turn like some groups, the sort of some groups have been set up because of had issues with people, then it just turns into a hate mob, and it
Yeah,
just goes too far. But if
yeah,
you've got a balance of people, and then
yes,
if it does go, hey, come on, hold back a bit,
yeah,
and that's it. It just yeah, because things can go too far, and
they
you've
can.
seen it, and people are sort of putting in opinions like when there's somebody who was caught out with something. I don't know if they have a criminal record or something, and then other people are coming in with other names, and you think, well, is this true? You
Mm,
know, it's all very well calling somebody something. Is it true? Because
yes,
it's got a massive impact on their lives and
yeah,
how they're going to be treated in society.
hmm,
And just because somebody hates people person, then you sort of don't want the vindictiveness, do you?
no,
And
exactly.
that's what then I thought that group, no, I'm going away because have you got evidence of this, and no, that group didn't last long, I don't think. I've certainly not
No,
seen.
sometimes they just tend to implode on themselves, don't they? Because I
Yeah,
think
that's right.
their goals for setting up and establishing themselves were questionable, should we say? I mean, for me,
Yeah, if they've got
yeah,
an issue against one specific person and they've set
yeah,
the group up on a grudge, and then that's it, isn't it? Then you
that's
just
it. It's not
yeah.
establishing irrefutable proof of the paranormal. It's not an academic inquiry. It's just getting a gang together to bully someone else, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right. And you can see it in the paranormal field quite a lot, like somebody's had a go at me and like why,
Mm.
And yeah, there are people who do have a go at different people, and it's
Yeah,
just totally unnecessary, isn't it? Like,
it is.
yeah, people do have differences. And
Look,
yeah, we know that you're not going to get on with everybody, but
no.
just deal with it.
Well, the thing is, if you get on with everyone, you must be quite vanilla. You know,
Oh,
the way I look at it is that,
yeah.
me personally, I'm not for everyone. Yes, I'd like to get on with everyone, but I don't expect to, because I've got my opinions. And once I take others on board, you know what I mean? I have
Yeah.
my opinions, and if I'm confident they're right, I won't be swayed. You can be confident I am a person rather than a yes man, if
Oh
that
God,
makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm certainly not a yes person, and yeah, it kind of holds you back in some ways, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. It
Because
does. Yeah.
I am not going to like creep round people. I'm not that person,
No, no.
and never have been, never will, and so be it. But at least I'm honest to myself.
That's the thing. Yeah,
You
you've got
know,
integrity.
yeah, and that it's the way it is, and
Mm,
yeah, and I don't know. I think I've always been like that, but
yeah.
I think also being on my own, I do have to fight my own corner, and I will.
Yes. No, I'm the same. I mean, I've got a partner, Neil, who lives in Wednesbury. We see each other once a week if we're lucky.
Oh, bless you.
But I I've got my daughter, and that's it. I do say there's no plan B. If I'm not doing something or looking after something, no one else is going to be doing it. So you do
Mhm.
become resilient, you become resourceful, you become independent, whether you like it or not. So you
Yeah,
like
that's
you said, you
right.
hit the nail on the head. You have to fight your own battles,
That's it.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's
like
great. I'm glad you
that's
go.
why I booked sort of that's why like I organise events, invite people along, or
Yeah,
if I want to go somewhere, I book it. I don't always remember to tell people, "Oh, I'm booking there. Do you want to come?" I
hmm,
just go ahead and book it because, like, rather than they go, "Oh, I don't know," and then
yeah,
by then you've missed it.
hmm,
I've already booked it, and
hmm,
then I'll just book it if you know, like I'm just
You're a
going to.
doer. That's what it is. You're a doer.
Well, I've just booked to go and see Dr. Carl Cooper. I'm looking forward to that. So he's given a talk, Matlock. I can't even pronounce the name, Euphorium or
Yeah.
Emporium or whatever it's called. So yeah, I'm going there for the first time. So looking forward to that. So that's
Mm,
just after the weekend after Panto. So yeah, I
yeah.
can make that one. So and it's set the bird off now.
I'm sure it'll be very good.
Yeah. Well, and I thought, yeah, let's go out there, and yeah, I've gone and booked it. My mates have booked it now, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's a few of us going, so it should be a good one. And yeah,
What's he discussing in on that one?
can't remember to be fair.
Don't
I
get you talking
forgot.
about Estes, for God's sake.
Oh God, no, it's not the Estes. No.
It was me that made that comment that started
Oh,
it.
that was too funny. Yeah, he
Yeah.
went for it, didn't he? Bless him. But
I
yeah.
wouldn't I wouldn't mind. Like I said, I have been in touch with him since,
Oh no, he's great. He's
But
brilliant. But yeah,
um the question we'd been asked was what equipment do you enjoy using? Not what is the most conducive to getting reliable evidence or anything like that.
mm,
Is what do you enjoy? Now I enjoy Estes because
I
I
enjoy
just do.
Estes. And I like the
Um,
way that Wednesbury have done it. I don't know if they do the
yeah,
three-way.
they are constantly changing and
Well, they are. That's
evolving
what I
it
like
and
about them.
adapting it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
like I said, I agree. It has got some flaws, of course. I agree,
yeah.
um, but I didn't I didn't really appreciate having that brand. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a little embarrassing, should we say? For me, not for him. I mean, I
Oh,
was
yeah.
quite upset if I'm honest because it was my first.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't my first convention because I'd done
Yeah.
the Brilliant Festival of the Unexplained, but I just felt very vulnerable being on that stage, and then when that happened, it kind of took
Oh,
the shine off it. But he's got his opinion, and I've got mine, and that's what I said. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
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 that's right. Because I think everything, like we said earlier, everything's got a flaw, hasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Like if you want to do the science route, then nothing's a ghost detector, is there, as such? So,
Well, I know when because he'd said that the best form of equipment, a piece of equipment, was piece of paper and pen. Agree completely. It should be at the heart of every
yeah,
investigation.
fair enough.
But and this is down to Kath and Al. I was talking to him about it a couple of weeks later, and it was they said, "Well, yes, piece of paper and pen, but what are you listening to give you
Mm,
that get you to the point where you need to write something down? You've got to use some kind of equipment." And I also, like I said, I do know electronic equipment has got its flaws, and Cal had mentioned those as well. Um, but then he's discounting the work of people like Andy Guy, who
yeah,
invests years in developing the equipment, honing it. I think I, I said it before with parapsychology. I don't think we, as paranormal investigators or researchers, would ever get anything evidence-wise that the parapsychologist can't go. That's
yeah.
cause a fault
You're
with.
not going to, yeah,
No,
because even like these environmental things, what Andy make, where like what he says is correct. I believe him, but it's for them to believe, and
yeah,
then for them, they would have to take it into a controlled environment and test it and everything,
yeah,
wouldn't it? Just
yeah.
so
But
that
then,
they would know from their perspective.
well, that's it, and that's assuming that they can um, duplicate the conditions
Well, you can't in
accurately.
paranormal
You
anyway.
can't.
This is it. You
No,
can't. You can't do a
but
science lab in paranormal.
I think for me personally, I don't think you'll ever get a meeting of minds with the parapsychologists
No,
or
you're not going to. No.
paranormally curious, as I call them. And so I think it's just a case of, for me, I don't need a parapsychologist to tell me if something's happened or not, and I believe it's happened, just as they
Yeah,
don't need me to agree with their view.
that's
So I
right.
think it's just
Yeah,
having that respect for one another and
that's right.
agreeing to
Yeah.
disagree. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had a discussion with somebody, yeah, about cat balls, but it is just something so simple, isn't it? And yeah,
Yeah.
sure enough, but why are they going off
Yeah.
on demand?
Particularly if
And
it's intelligent interaction.
correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't explain it, and we can't explain any of what we get,
hmm
and it's there, isn't it? So yeah,
But I don't want an explanation for everything. I think that takes the magic out of the world and the
it
curiosity.
does.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does because I once had this new app by Brian Holloway, and I was at the town hall, and I was getting a death certificate, all right, and and you could just put words on without the sound,
hmm
and it came out Warren, Kings, and something else. Well, the Warren Arms was next door to me, King's Head,
Yeah.
and I was in the courthouse, and the three words were a bit. Oh, I thought I don't want this. This is a bit too. This was too
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't. The location doesn't work on it, so I don't know how it did it, but I thought, oh, this is a bit too good.
hmm
Didn't have that many hits after that, but for that initial tryout, that was a bit mind blowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
did
and
you
like, oh,
really need any more hits? Because the ones that you got were good
well,
enough.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
bang on. To
Exactly.
be fair, I
Yeah.
wasn't even investigating. I was waiting for a piece of paper.
No. Well,
What
there you
can
go.
I say?
Yeah.
But and that was it. You could carry it around and just have it on your phone, and you're getting things, and
Yeah.
that was it. As long as you don't have the sound on, and you get the
hmm
words, don't you? And
Yeah.
it was a bit strange. I thought, well, yeah, and if you did get over time, then would you lose the joy of it? I think you would
I
because
think you would. I think it would become the ordinary
yeah,
rather
that's
than the
right.
extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you got all the information through, then there's nothing to discover anymore, is there?
No, exactly. I want the magical. I don't want someone to give me a book and say that's basically this is how everything is explained and this is how everything works. I
Yeah,
like the idea of thinking, well, maybe, the
yeah.
possibilities. Yeah. I
I'm the
think if we
same.
haven't got that in
Yeah.
the world, it would be very, very dull.
Yeah, that's the same with me. It's like you just got like loads of views and like you try and pick up a story and then you find it's different and then
Yeah.
if you do sort of link into something at an investigation, then
Yeah.
look at the history and it ties in and it's great, isn't it? And
Yeah.
we just love what we do, don't we? And
100%. I mean, like,
journey.
I heard off Russ earlier because I'd done some research for the Chapel of Unrest that they'd done on Friday,
Oh,
and
that
it,
looked
it
good.
turns out that we found someone who died in an accident outside. And when I get little bits coming through, I don't want to be right all the time because, like we said, that would make it really, really
Yeah,
dull.
that's right.
But when you do get the positive hits, and when you do get I mean, I'll go off very, very quickly. But what I've found is when I'm doing research, and I don't very often go to the sites, I'll just do the research like remotely and then present
Yeah,
it.
cool.
And I'm finding more and more often that when I get feedback from these sites, my name comes up on, electronic devices. And to me, that's proof enough for me because it's a case of they know they're being talked about, they know they're being thought
It's
about, and they know
incredible,
they're being
isn't it?
acknowledged. Um, so many times, I've had one where Wednesbury or Hex were doing the glass tunnels in Starbridge. Now,
Yeah.
like I said, I'd done the research, I hadn't gone to it, and Neil was telling me they were doing an invest. I can't remember which location it was at the site, but it was a case of um, they'd asked they'd done a call out, and it's like, do you know what we're doing? And they got the response investigating, and they said, and
Wow.
who's investigating, thinking it would mention someone who was doing that vigil, and they
Mm.
actually said Mandy. And it's just,
Yeah.
it gets a bit creepy sometimes when you think they know I'm talking about them, but then it's like, yeah, but they
Yeah.
know I'm talking about them.
Yeah.
It's a weird sensation. But
Yeah.
again,
It is
it's little
incredible.
victories. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so I just wish you all the like look in the future,
Thank
you
you.
sort of going to this, you've got your projects next year.
Yeah,
working more on sort of the haunted historian side, and
yeah,
yeah, good
yeah.
luck to you. So, if anybody wants to find you, obviously it's the haunted historian. You're on Facebook. Are you on any
I'm
other
on
social media?
Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram, and there's the website www.thehauntedhistorian.com. So
Nice
yes,
one.
come and find me.
Yeah.
I don't charge for any of my services, so don't think, oh, I can't approach you because she's going to charge me a ton of money.
Oh, bless
Anyone who
you.
needs any help, I will help.
Oh,
So,
that's so lovely, because that's the thing, like, I don't charge, I will go out, and my friend lives in Loughborough, and,
mhm.
might travel away, but, we're out there to help people if we can, and
That's my
that's
motto:
it.
helping the
She's
living
a
and the
great
dead.
medium, and
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. If I can
And
help, I'll be there. No,
sometimes the
not a
spirits
problem.
need help. You've got a white one as well.
Oh, I've
Oh,
got I've
big
got nine
white one.
cats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow, cool, brilliant.
So
Yeah, so we just go out and help and sort of do what we can, don't we? For
I
both
think
sides,
that's all we
really.
can do. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
earning
that's
good
it.
karma and it's our good deed. That's the way I look at it. If you
Oh,
if you
bless
can
you.
help in a certain way, I think it's your responsibility to help.
Yeah,
100%.
that's it.
Hmm.
Oh, but thank you so much. Thanks for everyone's comments, and thanks for watching,
Yes.
and take
Thank you,
care,
everyone, for saying
everybody.
hello. You take care. Thank
Bye. Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.